match is now officially a Judy Bagwell on a forklift match.
Broken, thankless, push you down, open.
It's our last one. Hi, Twitch, for the final time.
No more Twitch. It'll be great. No more purple stuff. We got 3 channels that we're running this shit on. We got Facebook, we got YouTube, we got Twitch. But most importantly, the fact is the YouTube channel is doing better, and Facebook allows us to interact with people a lot better. Gentlemen, how the hell was your week?
I just let Maya speak because I can personally say I watched Jeremiah take a lot of ass whoopings this weekend.
Bro, my week has sucked. I've been in pain. My voice hurts. My throat hurts. My face hurts. My back hurts. My everything hurts. My pride hurts. I got the biggest win probably of my career, and I didn't even get to celebrate it. Man. Oh,
You got your back blown out by DVA.
I won, jackass. How dare you?
Your ass beat. Just to
shut
look.
up.
And
Shut
I
up.
appreciate it. It's on the record. It's a dub. It is a dub.
Bro, I beat him. And then him and 4 other people needed to team up on me to beat me up. All right. I don't care how you want to paint it. The reality of the situation is the big cat boss bitch is such a badass. I am such the king/queen of the jungle that it takes 4 motherfuckers to come at your boy, to come get some. All right. And you know what? Apparently I'm promoing right now, but this is where we live. So listen here, you little Comic-Con fucking weebo wannabe piece of crap. Listen, I'll come to your little hidden cloud village. I'll freaking break down your stupid little hut. I'll punch your wannabe Hinata in the face, and then I'll break your stupid neck again, craphead. All right? B, not Tommy Oliver Vendetta. All right. If you don't know who I'm talking about the wannabe leader of the group that he can't even get himself over in. Talking about Aaron O'Ryan. Ooh, you think you're all big and bad? I'm a big bad war general. Pussy ass bitch. All right. Then you
Did you just call me? What'd you just call me?
What'd you just call me? I'll slap you down too. All right. Then you got MM3. You want some? Come fucking get some, bro. Who the fuck is you? Nobody knows because you ain't even got a mouthpiece anymore, idiot. It's Malcolm Monroe the Third. Oh, that's real cute. That's real cute. Riding those coattails of your past, aren't you? And then you got DB. I'm a big tough man. Look at me. I got a little knife. I'm gonna stabby stab. I'm gonna stabby stab. Well, you know what? You can go stab yourself a nice little hole in the lost column because that's what I gave you on Sunday. You're welcome, idiots.
Hi, everyone. My name's Clinton Davis. You can find me as BK Batman on Twitter. To my right, he's Ethan. He's muted. He doesn't realize he muted himself again.
I muted myself so I didn't talk during Jeremiah's promo.
That wasn't a promo. That was real.
Okay,
he's Ethan. You can find him at Jensen Collins 3 on Twitter. Right underneath me,
that way,
is the sexiest man in pro wrestling media.
I am the Batman.
Russell Joy. Joy on Broad. It's just wrestling. Our AEW analysis here. He's going to try to. Oh, you got merch now too. Ooh.
He's got a sweater.
He's going to try to make sense of this all-in card later in the show with us. And of course, we have Jeremiah Goldmain, the boss, the 24 Karat Line, the last swag bender. You can find him at the 24 Karat Lion across all of his social medias. You can find us at On a Forklift Pod on Twitter, On a Forklift Wrestling Podcast on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, and Facebook now.
For the last fucking time, Twitch.
And Thursday nights at 9
Which means it's
p.m.
the last time that people are going to have to see that misspelling on a fickle 2 slides ago.
Mm-hmm. And then don't forget to use your channel points for the final time.
What does that mean?
Use your channel points.
What are channel points?
people when they on Twitch, when they sit and watch us, they accrued points. We have a thing where you can spend 420 points, and I will take a hit off my dab pen. For tonight, I actually have a jar of Jeters that I will be smoking when you guys push that little button. So, yeah, it's going to be a fun night. There was a lot of wrestling that happened this past weekend.
You guys might not have noticed it, but we just saw the first wrestling move of the night. Jeremiah's camera just pointed down, and we just saw the small package. So, big night here.
Little night.
Coming up. Of course, if you follow us on
YouTube,
you can find our new pack opening video, which is the WWE Blaster Box opening. If you go over to our YouTube channel as well, you can catch the first 3 matches of Horror Slam Presents Bloody Nights, including...
Man, that show had a great host.
A great host, including the banger, which I'm going to be talking about at the end of the year, between Lucha Punk and Thomas Bailey. Exceptional weekend for Thomas Bailey this weekend. And, of course, this upcoming Monday is the 4-Post Massacre 7, the Battle at the Great Lakes. We got a lineup here. Jeremiah's returning to take on the champ, Bree Stout, and our special guests will be Summer Rawson and Heather Blue.
Bree's not the champ. She beat me by a point. It was a fluke.
Well, let's get through some of these comments here.
Damn, Goldme, you going to take that?
No, Don, I'm gonna whoop DBA's ass.
Why the fuck did you get dealt in the? Why the fuck did you get us dealt?
I didn't get anybody beat up. Greg, listen, DBA, like, I didn't get Greg beat up. All right, I did not get Greg beat up. DBA got turned on by Greg from behind or something. You heard it. I was there. You know what I'm talking about if you were there. If you weren't there, you'll never know what I'm talking about because the media's controlled. Anyways.
Russ might be the sexiest man in wrestling media, but I'm definitely the cutest.
Oh, good Lord.
That's
Gentlemen, what's the first thing we step across on this? Do we talk about what kind of a absolute abomination the Texas Chainsaw Massacre match was last night?
I turned off AEW.
Stop.
What was that?
What?
Like, what is okay? I've seen clips all day of Jeff Jarrett fighting Leatherface.
Listen, everyone, hold on. Russ, before you say anything, everyone on this channel knows I am a die-hard Jeff Jarrett fan. That was fucking awful. And I love bad wrestling. That was terrible.
Why does he have a belt now?
The belt's kind of cool,
Leatherface, because there's an actual indie wrestler.
Cool.
The indie wrestler, there is an indie wrestler named Leatherface. He has
100 of them.
Yeah, I know.
There's 100 of them.
But that one had his own Leatherface championship. That's probably why he got hired.
They probably made that belt.
Dude, it looked like a Photoshop print that you can, like, you scrolling on Facebook, and it was just like,
I saw
get
it.
your own championship belt. It's made for $49.99.
It was definitely a laser engraved red pleather. I don't get it. Why was this a thing?
Russ,
what was the build?
We're gonna give you the floor. We're gonna give you the floor to make sense of the Texas Chainsaw Death Match.
So Greg said that the movie paid $100,000 for that segment,
and that money went to the Maui Food Bank. It was all donated to the Maui Food Bank as part of.
So then, what the fuck was the point of doing the segment? They could have just gave $100,000 to the Maui Food Bank
because Texas Chainsaw Massacre has a game coming out,
and they do this kind of stuff. And I'm assuming it's done by WB Games, now. Right? I'm assuming that this is a game that's created by Warner Brothers Games. Can somebody look that up?
Probably,
because I can't be bothered to do it, but I'm assuming that that's the reason. Yeah, and as we've seen in the past, Warner Brothers Discovery likes to do crossover things with AEW. Shark Week, they've done it with the House of the Dragon. Like, they've done it with stuff like this before. Using Winter is Coming, which is like a clear reference to the original Game of Thrones series. Like, they do this kind of stuff.
Yeah, but like all that other stuff wasn't nail on the head.
Oh no, right? Some of it was bad. Like they did the Shark Week. They did a Shark Week thing last year where the JAS couldn't be, or it was the Inner Circle at the time, couldn't be.
JAS were in shark
They were
cages.
in a shark cage, but then they couldn't get the key to work, so they just kind of like snuck through the thing.
No,
and,
that was when Anna J turned and joined the JAS because she got the key for it.
She had the button. She had the button to drop them or whatever.
No, it wasn't a drop. They were on like the back units of a fucking thing or whatever. They couldn't send 6 people in a shark cage.
Yeah.
They had to like put them all in a cage behind audience members.
Do you guys realize that if you're sitting here describing this to me and I didn't know what you were talking about, you would all sound like fucking lunatics?
Can I play this in the video game?
No, nor can you play the Stadium Stampede match that they've been talking about for 2 months.
Wait, you still can't do the 30-man Stadium Stampede thing?
Not that I know of.
That was like the only reason.
It's not like they've known for years that they're working on this game. Like it's not like they've known that they were going to be putting out a.
Shut up, Greg.
Listen, let me. Wow, they're just all going after him.
Yeah, I don't understand why everybody's mad at me today.
You pissed off everyone this weekend, man. I was there all weekend.
Wish a quick recovery to.
First of all, Bree's child cried when I got assaulted. I'll let you know. How dare you? I didn't piss off Bree's child. DBA upset Bree's child. Go fuck yourself.
Russ, go ahead.
Okay, so here's the thing with this match, right? I made Buff Chick Dip last night. No, I made it 2 nights ago. Or was it last night? It might have been last night. It was last night. No, it was. It was last night. What?
1 second. Maya doesn't understand the lore of the Buffalo Chicken Dip scale.
Okay.
What the fuck?
So I'm gonna need you to keep your scraggly ass in check here for a second while I explain the scale. Okay, the Buff Chick Dip scale. All right, was the show worthy of having Buff Chick Dip made for the consumption of Buff Chick Dip? And in the early days of Dynamite, it was always like a 5 out of 5 on the BCD scale. And of late, Dynamite has been like around the 1 and 1.5, sometimes 2. It depends on the card. But last night I made Buff Chick Dip, and I was holding out hope for Dynamite. And Dynamite was really weird because that's where we are now. We're just weird. I stopped watching because I was watching something with my wife, and then I think I got distracted by like a game. There's a Little League World Series, a team from Pennsylvania, the works, all that. So anyway, I get back to Dynamite, and I don't see the death match. And I wake up this morning, and I see Twitter, X, Twixter, whatever you want to call it. I see everybody losing their mind about this. This is the worst match in the history of matches. Now, I don't have to remind people of like what it looked like in 2000 in WCW, but there were very bad matches.
But if you want to be known what it's like, go over to our channel and check out Trevor and Ethan recapping all the Nitros.
There you go. A new episode tonight. So
product placement.
So the thing is, I went into the match the day after reading it's the worst match in the history of matches. And what I saw was not great. It was not a death match.
No.
But what I saw is what they've had Jeff Jarrett do now on multiple occasions, which is these like schmazzy run in, a lot of people, nothing really makes a ton of sense. But like, I have to ask people at this point, if you're booking Jeff Hardy for a match, tell me how you could have used Jeff Hardy better. Based off of what we've seen the last 4 times he's been in the ring. Hold on a second. The last 4 times that he's been in the ring, he's looked slow. He's looked out of sorts. His brother doesn't help. You can't have him in a frantic, high-paced match. Hardy's versus Bucks last week did not work. So you get into this kind of match where you have the weird Hardy faction over here. You've got Jeff Jarrett's faction. You have Karen Jarrett. She's kind of playing the role of like the woman who's screaming and covered in blood in the movie. That fits. Satnam Singh's the big giant. Fine. You have everybody in and out. It looks chaotic. It's like the end of the movie where everybody's running, from the bad guy. Leatherface coming in was stupid, but whatever. Fine. They needed that. They felt like they needed that. Fine. It's fine. Is it stupid? Yeah. But like, if we're being honest here, Dynamite hasn't been a sports-based show in quite some time and has really kind of started to devolve into whatever the hell it's been of late, where like nothing really makes a lot of sense. So like you can't get up in arms when you've already set the bar low. Go ahead, Clint. How could they have better used Jeff Hardy?
Is not booking him an option.
Okay, no, it's not because they need to get some kind of
Oh,
value back.
then that's easy. 8-man tag team match where all he has to do is get tagged in at the end and hit the Swanton Bomb.
It's kind of what
I
he
would
did
use
in
Jeff
this.
Hardy.
That's kind of how they did. Like, that's kind of what they did here.
No, I'm talking New Japan style, not this bullshit that happened. Not this one-on-one devolves into an 8-man bullshit fight war games type shit.
No, it's exactly how they used to book Muda. Like that when they would book Muda and all those guys in the New Japan matches. They'd come in, hit one move to get tagged out.
The undercard of the G1 Climax is essentially how I would say I would book Jeff Hardy. It's just 8-man tags for the rest of his career and then a swan song match against Edge and Christian.
Jeremiah, go ahead.
Who the hell was Jeff Jarrett? Who the hell was in the match? All right,
Jeff Hardy.
I thought it was Leatherface versus Jeff Jarrett. No. I did not even know that Jeff Hardy was in this match.
No, it was the double.
Because he's not in any of the clips surrounding this match. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I didn't know that. Okay, now why we're talking about Jeff Hardy makes sense.
I mean, I'm not going to sit here and like make it sound like this was some fantastic match. It's not a work rate match. It doesn't really belong anywhere. It probably honestly belonged on Rampage, but like if they're going to pay $100,000 for the sponsorship and that money's going to go to the Maui Food Bank, which came out today, we didn't know about that last night. Perhaps they should have mentioned the fact.
Maybe
that, that probably would have bought them a little bit of leeway, but like Dynamite doesn't make sense for the most part. Like there aren't a lot of things about it as a show that make you think like this is, highbrow pro wrestling. So like, I don't know. This is just kind of where we're at. If they hadn't called it the Texas Chainsaw Massacre Death Match and they put John Moxley in it to do this shit with like Blackpool Combat Club and Best Friends, like it'd be the same thing. It's just because they had Leatherface come out. Like there's nothing different here. All right. Like it's the same shit. It's just people are up in arms because there's this mention of like another brand. Is it as stupid as the zombie thing with the Miz? Maybe. Is it dumber?
Yes.
I don't know. Maybe.
There. Absolutely.
I mean, you could probably put them together, but like, I don't know. As a stupid, smarmy kind of match, it just did what it does. Like I don't know.
All right, Ethan.
There's 3 things that I was entertained about last night on this, but when I say these things, you're going to go, oh, well, this is like 2008 TNA or 2006 TNA. It was the Sting and Nana bit because we're getting a little bit of Joker Sting back. Who he's there for the character work, he's there for the stuff. Perfect, good. That's what you use Sting for. Great use of Sting. I like that. I like Nick Wayne and Darby Allin in the ring. It was a good showcase of young talent on Nick Wayne's part. That's fine. Not a big deal there. The other thing I liked, Adam Cole and MJF. It's basically been the only consistent thing that they've had going over the course of Dynamite for the last 3 months. And then the last thing was Britt Baker got the win to get into that women's match. And now the women's match actually feels like it's going to go somewhere. That's like, and it feels like Britt Baker is going to actually do something again, where she's been just treading water for a year.
It's another Britt Baker match though, that you walk out of and you go, I don't know. It didn't feel like a very good match. And at some point you go like, are we starting to find like common denominator might be,
but it's also the bunny. And I
want to play a fun game with our AEW analysis here. I right now have in front of me the AEW All-In card. Now, some matches like MJF, Adam Cole, we know how that got together. That one's pretty easy. I want you to explain to me some of these matches, how they came together.
Ooh, can I explain first and then Russ tells us how they actually got there?
You know what? Sure, let's play that.
Yeah,
go ahead, Jeremiah. Jeremiah, how did they book FTR and the Young Bucks?
This match ain't going to happen because the FTR is on Saturdays and the Young Bucks are on Wednesdays. And that's where card subject to change is going to happen. All right, now to Russ.
Russ?
What are you talking about?
He's saying how he thinks it got booked, and you're going to tell us how it actually got booked.
Yeah, this ain't actually a thing. They just made a flyer to sell pay-per-views. Like they can't.
Oh, you don't think the match is actually going to happen?
No, because it can't. Because FTR is Saturday roster, and the Young Bucks are Wednesday roster, and everybody on the Saturday show will work with Wednesday, but Wednesday people don't fuck with Saturday people. That's facts.
I did see a news article about that today on the New York Times.
And that's why I will never get to see the one match in that entire company that will, break bank, which is CM Punk versus Kenny Omega.
Which I feel like the FTR Young Bucks was pretty simple, but Will Ospreay and Chris Jericho, because I only watched the Texas.
I'm not going to be put in the position here to try to make sense of this shit because it doesn't make sense. Okay?
But it's your job.
It's not my job. It's not my job.
Listen, I have a genuine question.
Job.
What?
This one's genuine because I didn't.
Analyze
I only watched the Texas Death Match last night.
Okay.
If I'm being real with you guys.
Mm-hmm.
How in the fuck did we get to Will Ospreay and Chris Jericho?
Okay.
Like, aren't both of them managed by Don Callis?
No. Okay. So here's where we are. This is
why would they even fight each other?
This is how they got. This is how we got here. Okay. So the by the way, the FTR Bucks thing is going to happen. The Bucks are going to go over so they can have their beautiful little moment in front of their families and like, yeah, we built the company. Fucking great. Awesome.
They've already had that moment. Like
awesome. Nah, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, but they stroke their ego.
Yeah, like they're gonna do it again. Yay. So that's really exciting. Gonna love it. By the way, I don't think FTR and the Bucks have very good chemistry in the ring. So like, in the prior two matches, I haven't been that excited. Like the Young Bucks are better when they're against somebody like the Lucha Brothers, right? The Lucha Bros, and FTR was excellent against Bullet Club Gold when they had the match with Juice and Jay White. Like sometimes styles make fights, and sometimes the styles don't mesh. Like this is going to disappoint. And I like FTR a lot. And I think I understand like what the Bucks are, right? Like if you like that kind of thing, and like I can enjoy it, but like they don't work together. The Jericho and Ospreay thing is so weird on so many levels, but I think I know how they got to it. I just don't understand why they thought that this was a good idea. And this actually speaks to like a bigger issue with the entire card. Okay. The way that they explained it, okay, is that Callis has been trying to recruit Jericho to be part of his Don Callis family. Now, a few weeks ago, we were in a really cool position where Don Callis and Konosuke Takeshita were like the hated heels for attacking Kenny Omega. And like, we're getting booed out of the building. It was great. Awesome heat. Takeshita looked like a fucking stud, right? Like he had the great look of this like super villain. And you're like, man, we all loved this guy. He's young. He was exciting. And now we hate him. Okay, cool. Like that was great. And then they squandered it because that's what they do, because they don't have the ability to put together a 4 to 6 month arc for someone. It's like we get really hot and then we forget about them. They're here, but now we need to like cross-pollinate them with like 3 bullshit storylines. So, okay, we blew that. That chance is gone. Great. Awesome. So Don Callis has been focusing his time on trying to get Chris Jericho into the Don Callis family. And finally, after Jericho's crew walked out last week and Jericho backstage tells Don Callis, I'm ready to give you an answer. After everybody walked out on him in the opening segment last week, they get there last night and Don Callis doesn't think that Jericho's going to say yes. And Jericho says, yes, I'll join the family. And they're like, whoa, oh, okay. Well, then fine. There's a big picture that's covered up in the corner. They go to leave the ring, and then Jericho's like, "Hey, Don, by the way, what's under the blanket?" And Don Callis says, "My penis." Just kidding. And Don Callis says, don't worry about that. It doesn't matter." And then they reveal it, and it's Don Callis holding a decapitated Chris Jericho head because presumably he thought that Jericho was going to say no. Callis was going to bring out Ospreay, who had been courting, I think, prior to Forbidden Door. As like, you have to have security in Canada or something. If I remember, I think he had somebody else. I don't remember what tag team it was with him. Doesn't really matter. And it was clear that like this was supposed to set up in theory in Callis's head that Ospreay was going to come out and attack Jericho, and hooray. He never expected Jericho to say yes. Then Jericho and Callis kind of get into it. And then Takeshita comes out. Takeshita does his thing. He, hits Jericho. Jericho somehow gets the better of Takeshita. Go figure. And then Ospreay comes out and blindsides Jericho. And then Jericho gets busted open. And then later Jericho backstage is like sitting on a doctor's table and Renee's there. And Jericho says, you want me? Let's have a match at All In. There, I just recapped. But like it's so... I know how they got there. I know how conceptually they got there. And it had nothing to do with any of the stuff I just said. For whatever reason, they didn't want to have Ospreay and Omega do All In and do the third match, or some people are calling it the fourth match. For whatever reason, they chose that wasn't going to happen. I guess the third one's going to be in the Tokyo Dome or something. But like, you're calling All In the biggest pro wrestling show in history. You have a match that can absolutely steal the show, and did at Forbidden Door. So you could put those two together, and instead, Kenny Omega's in a 6-man match that no one's going to give a shit about.
Wait, what?
And Will Ospreay is in a match with Chris Jericho, who isn't going to be able to keep up. Now, the only way this makes sense is if the goal is to have Ospreay in a big match with Jericho, and they're going to work on ring psychology and slowing down Ospreay. And then you're going to see another side of Ospreay. Like, can he do a match where he can't have a partner, a dance partner who can go 100 miles an hour and ramp it up to the 6th gear like an Omega can? Can he do a more methodical, slow match with Jericho? I don't know. And I don't know why they thought that this was the best place for it. If you were going to put a legend against a young up-and-comer, I'll come back to the thing I said months ago. MJF and Sting, title versus career, is a hell of a headliner. And you could probably make sense of that. And like, the match doesn't have to be great, but Sting and MJF could work a style that the match is compelling, is interesting, gives you the high spots that you're looking for, and like ultimately gives Sting that really cool moment, even though he loses. The Jericho and Ospreay thing just doesn't hit that same way, because even if Ospreay goes over, he gets to say, all right, I beat Chris Jericho. That would mean something if this were Le Champion Chris Jericho, not the Chris Jericho who lost multiple matches to Orange Cassidy, and not one who only 2.5 months ago, lost to Action Andretti. Like, you've already devalued what it means to beat Chris Jericho. So like, even from that standpoint, it doesn't really mean as much as it should have. That's where we're at. That's what's maddening.
And I agree with you. And to answer your question, Jeremiah, it's Kenny Omega, Hangman, and Kota Ibushi taking on the Golden Bullet Club
Gold.
Gang, gang, gang.
And Takeshita, which in my opinion,
bang,
Russ,
gang.
Russ, and what you said earlier, it was Takeshita versus Ospreay would have been the match for me. I think it's a little too soon for Omega Ospreay 3. I feel like you run the risk you did when you did Omega Okada. I think it was like 3 times within a calendar year. You need to let those two breathe. You don't need to have 3 match of the year contenders in 1 calendar year. I think this would have been the perfect moment for just a singles Omega to catch the match.
I feel like they're gonna do that for All Out, which comes back to the other problem, by the way, in building the entire card. They chose to run Wembley a week before another pay-per-view, and they're gonna have to have a lot of these guys double dip. So you're probably gonna get Takeshita and Omega. Something's gonna happen in the 6-man match, and then that's gonna lead to a match at All Out. But like, what's the bigger event? You know, like, what's the goal?
Hold on, because we tend to stay on one subject too long. We need to move on to the next one, because there's more to talk about in this all-in debacle than just that. Because you're right. The main event, Ethan brought out the main event is MJF versus Adam Cole. That will be a banger of a main event, but they're also on the pre-show to go after the Ring of Honor tag titles.
Adam Cole's gonna heel turn on MJF.
We also have a Stadium Stampede match now.
Stupid. Fucking dumb.
No, we don't.
Yep,
Yeah,
it is going to be. Let me see if I can get every member in this thing. It's going to be the Lucha Brothers, the Best Friends, Orange Cassidy, and Eddie Kingston taking on John Moxley, Claudio Castagnoli, and Wheeler Yuta of the Blackpool Combat Club, and 3 members of their choosing.
Yep.
Which will probably be Eddie Kingston came back and he wants to finish his feud with Claudio.
I mean, that's literally it.
Why isn't it a one-on-one?
Dude,
great question.
Done a one-on-one.
Great question, because as we come back to like Blackpool Combat Club being better individually than the sum of the parts, like, yeah, would have made a whole lot more sense. This thing is dumb. The Stadium Stampede match, while fun during COVID, serves no purpose. And in this case, especially serves no purpose because it's not a blow-off match to anything. Like, it's a match that came because there was a street fight or the parking lot brawl thing that happened like 2 weeks ago on Rampage that like 400,000 people maybe saw. There have been like a few shots taken like after segments on Dynamite or something. Like, it's dumb. It's so lazy to go this route, and it's unnecessary. And I'm guessing it's because they want to be able to present the spectacle of Wembley. Like, they're going to have these guys, in the stands and like, oh, you're going to get great camera shots, and that's fine. But like Stadium Stampede matches typically main event the pay-per-view. You better fucking not do that with this, because this is garbage. Like,
it's going to open it, or it's going to be it's going to open it, because you have the other title match, the tag title match is on the pre-show card. This match will open it, and my assumption is it's going to run until right before the main, because these dudes are going to go out and they're going to hit every single British, like London landmark you can hit within a reasonable distance of Wembley.
Wait, it's on the pre-show?
No, I'm saying this match is going to open the card. The ROH title thing is on the Zero Hour.
You made it sound like that match was on the pre-show.
No,
like
I was just because I was going to say that the ROH title match or tag title match would be the opener, but it's on the 0 hour. So I think this is going to open the card, and it's just going to run, and they're just going to come back and have other matches going on, and they're going to go, let's check in with Stadium Stampede, and boom, they're fighting at that big fucking egg Ferris wheel thing. And
if they do that, like, I'll shut the show off. That's so dumb. It really is. Like, I know what you're saying, and like, I would not put it past anybody right now to come up with that creative, but like, what a stupid thing to do.
We're adding 2 matches to the card that I'm fine with, right? That haven't been announced. CM Punk, Samoa Joe. For personally, that should be your main event. I understand the Adam Cole MJF thing, but you want to put names as your main event. Also, this match should have been announced fucking 3 weeks ago, but it's not. That should be the main event. That should end the show. Then you've got House of Black versus the Acclaimed and Billy Gunn, because they're trying to draw him out with the boots and everything that happened on last night's show. And that'll be fine. That'll be really fun, because it's House of Black. They're very good, and the Acclaimed work well with them. And I think it's really just that everybody meshes with the Acclaimed and the House of Black. FTR works well with those groups. It's a thing. The longer it's gone on, you talked about it, this being a grand spectacle, it's just not there for me. Like, this doesn't feel grandiose. This just feels like Full Gear.
Oh, let me just say this. For a company that spaces pay-per-views out 3 months in between, this pay-per-view feels rushed as fuck.
Yeah, but why does it feel rushed? Because we just found out about it, or because they decided to do the same bullshit that they've been doing and that they do with the show like Forbidden Door, where they wait until a week or 2 before it to start announcing matches? See, this is the problem. And it doesn't take much, okay? This is why I get so angry, because booking pro wrestling isn't hard. Figuring out psychology for pro wrestling and storylines isn't inherently difficult. And then analyzing it also isn't hard. It's just like sports. It's not hard. This isn't hard to figure out. If you're going to run a show like this, you have 2 choices. You're either going to try to make it make sense with storyline, like you would do with a normal pay-per-view, or you're going to try to book it to be a bunch of dream matches, which is what they try to do with Forbidden Door, right? This is neither. This is like a weird amalgamation of the 2, but it's the worst part of both. What they should have done, if they were really hell-bent on not announcing matches, we're going to get to 80,000 tickets without telling anybody a match. Don't fucking tell anybody what the matches are. Go out there, you sold 80,000 tickets, tell people, tune into the show, and you're going to see the matches. The matches are going to be great.
I like that.
Okay, so I don't know.
They should,
hold on. I know you guys are pretty ignorant to like PWG shit, but like they have a show called Mystery Vortex.
Mm-hmm.
It is a show where they don't announce shit. They say, yo, we have a show. We don't know what's going to be on it. It's called Mystery Vortex 7. Just show up. They just did that this past weekend. The main event turned out to be Daniel Garcia versus Mikey Bailey in an Iron Man match.
Right, but that's 7,000 people in the Ukrainian Cultural Center in Los Angeles. This is 80,000 people in a fucking... The size of difference on a show, you can pull that off in a bingo hall. You can't do that, or nobody's ever done that in a stadium.
But they did. They sold 64,000 tickets to that fucking show before a single match was announced.
But you knew they were going to announce matches because Tony can't keep himself together to do that. We talk shit about WWE for doing a lot of things, but one of the things that WWE does right, and it's annoying that I have to give them credit for this, is that they run these programs into the ground where it's this person versus this person so many times over and over, but you can look at the pay-per-view and go reasonably, this is what's going to be on that pay-per-view. Yes, I'm interested in watching it.
So here's how you could have done it without announcing what the matches are.
Elevator pitch it, because we got to move
every
on shit.
Every title is on the line at Wembley. We are all in. The champions are all in. And that's it. That tells you that MJF's going to be on the card. CM Punk is going to be on the card. It tells you FTR are going to be on the card. It tells you that maybe Chris Statlander, Hikaru Shida, they're all going to be on the card. House of Black, they're all going to be on the card. So you could also, by the way, not pigeonhole yourself, because you wouldn't have to say that those are the talents. You say 3 months ago, every title will be on the line at All In. That's it. Now, you do have to do some creative. You do have to have some people on the posters. You do that's all fine. So you can do that in the UK. You don't necessarily have to plaster that everywhere in the US, but in the UK, you could have done something like that. But either you go no announcement or you figure this thing out with a 3-month arc. And this is where maybe Forbidden Door threw a wrench in it. I don't know. But you can't just sit back and say Bryan Danielson's injury is the reason that we couldn't do the show the right way. That doesn't work.
Jeremiah, what's up?
That's it.
Man, all right. So real quick, not advertising any matches is a stupid thing if you're a multi-billion-dollar company. If you're indie legend supreme PWG, I mean, do what you do, bro. That's FU mentality. You know what I mean? But that's because you make the most of being at the level you're at. When you're at a billion-dollar multi-million, you know what I mean? When there's a certain level in which it's a business now, right? Pro wrestling at this level, you guys were at SummerSlam, right? You heard of this event that happened here 2 weeks ago, right? It's a merch sale. I don't know if you realize this. These big pay-per-views are merch sales. They set up a superstore, right? Wembley Stadium's going to have it there for 3 days. AEW super merch store. You advertise who's going to be there. It's
is that merch going to have the matchups on the shirts?
They'll probably have.
Is AEW going to sell official FTR? They're not, because that's what they're known for. They don't sell a massive, they don't have 45 SKUs of shirts that they put at these shows. That's not a thing.
At the big ones?
No, it's not.
At All In, I can't get my favorite guy's shirt.
No, I'm telling you that the shows that I've been to, including Arthur Ashe, which they made their big show for a while, there were 5 or 6 shirt designs, right? 3 or 4 of them. I think I'm wearing one under here, but 3 or 4 of them were specific to New York. And then you had, I think, maybe 7 shirts for your favorite people, but it wasn't Danielson versus Kenny Omega was not a shirt, but we all knew that was the match that was supposed to be the big match at that show. So
bad marketing.
So whether that's good or bad is fine, but that's where you come up with the champions, or that's where I said you need to have the poster, you need to have those people, and that's fine. But you don't have to announce the matches. That's why I'm saying you sold 65,000 tickets without ever saying MJF versus Adam Cole. I don't think that they got another 16,000 people to buy tickets to go see MJF versus Adam Cole. I could honestly say I don't think any of the matches that have been announced are something that would have had 16,000 people go out and buy a ticket. I don't think that there are any that are that compelling.
You know what would make me buy a ticket?
You know what? Hold on.
Jey Uso showing up.
I've got a fucking segue, because talking about things that don't make sense, what didn't make sense for a minute was why the fuck is Ethan James teaming up with Anthony Coleman Jr. to take on Grim Reality? Now, I know they both got beef with Grim Reality, but thank God we got some answers yesterday.
Everybody's asking, how did this team come together? Well, just take a look at this and you'll find out. Whew. Like, I swear, this is crazy. This is gonna work. I know this is gonna work. This has to work, because if it doesn't, you don't see any tables, do you? If this doesn't work, I don't know what's gonna happen. I hope he answers.
A few moments later.
Should I knock again? Should I knock?
Yeah.
It's gotta be there. It's gotta be there. It's gotta be there.
What's going on?
Okay, listen, man, this is gonna be absolutely insane. I'm looking for Anthony Coleman Jr. Is he here?
He is.
Hey,
Kobe!
It's gotta work. This is the only way that this
Come on,
works.
y'all come in.
Hey man, what's going on? Are we good? Are we okay? So hey, I know it's gonna be crazy. I know it's gonna be crazy. But Jeremiah Goldman, you know, the one with the crazy hair, he came to me and he said, "Hey, I'm gonna put you and Coleman in a match against Grim." Because the whole thing that happened with you and Devon at the end of the thing, and you know, Angel, he was mouthing at me on the ground, and listen, man, people are trying to put me through a table for money, and I need some protection, and I know that you're very stoked. You do a lot of talking with your fists, and I do a lot of talking with my mouth. I thought that maybe that would just be a good pairing. Like, what is that a possibility?
I'm working, man. What you want?
I need a partner for FU. And you need a partner for FU. And you
I don't need anything.
Oh,
I can
okay.
take care of Grim Reality myself.
Okay.
But since I see that me and you both have a quarrel with them, you just show up.
Oh, okay.
Stand on the damn apron. I do all the work. Because at the end of the day, they're trying to put you through a table. I personally don't give a damn about that. I got work to do. Get out of here.
Okay.
Get out of here.
Okay. Yes, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you. He likes me. He really likes me. I know this is gonna work out great. Yeah. All right. Let's do this. Woo! And there you have it, folks. TGIFU, September 1st. Anthony Coleman and I, we are in lockstep, synced up, and ready to go that way.
So yeah, that's how that shit came together. And I personally cannot wait for Ethan to get the shit kicked out of him.
Get the shit kicked out of me. Did you see that? The man's an animal.
Bro, he's got the biggest guy in the match on his team.
Dude, your teammate's going to whoop the shit out of you. You say the wrong thing.
No way. No, bro, he loves me. We're good.
They're like best friends. I saw that chemistry. Like,
he almost dabbed me up. Did you see that?
He gave him the, like, I don't know, like I get that look all the time from a lot of the guys I manage, where like it, like to an untrained idiot like Clinton, it might look like Anthony Coleman could care less if you get hurt, but I saw it. He was in
his element. I entered his cave, his dojo, and he didn't just completely end me. You know what that means?
That's a lot, bro. What was up with that like caveman carrot top?
Like he's even
that opened the door.
Hey, look, man, look. That's I did some research. I talked about it later. That's one of Coleman's guys. And from what I know, he's got like the jackrabbit punches. I'm just he told me he hit the speed bag later, and I'm talking good stuff. I'm good stuff where everybody's up. We're on an even keel here. We're gonna go in September 1st. We're gonna whoop some grim ass. We're gonna bring a dose of reality to them, because to this point they haven't been challenged by shit, but they've never stepped in the ring with Anthony Coleman and had me mouthing off to him on the side. So
I broke Angel's leg.
Yeah, but look how quickly he came back. It's been like 5 months?
Yeah, but just because like he's got John Cena like real life plot armor doesn't mean I know where
it's at now. Now I just got to take it to his leg. Hey, I'll take a chair. If Greg is reffing that match, he can't see and or count to 3 anyway, so we're good. He
can't count to 3. He can't see shoulders.
I'm gonna need a co-host on September 7th, because I think Ethan's gonna be in the ICU.
I'm gonna be fine. I'm gonna whoop my kids.
Oh yeah, you're gonna be fine, baby.
I'm gonna beat up Xander.
Tag match. You got an easy tag match.
Oh, it's so easy. It's
so easy.
Xander.
Easy payday for you. But like Russ and I are gonna be sending flowers to Sam.
I'm gonna make sure she's comforted
She chose this life.
because I care about you.
I
She
appreciate
chose
it.
this life.
I appreciate it. It's
welcome.
unnecessary. It's unnecessary because I don't know what you guys are worried about. I don't have anything to worry about. We're fine. But I appreciate the thought.
What's the table bounty up to just for like the viewers?
$120 or
That's a
something
lot
like
of money for like, bro. Do you want to go get dinner tomorrow? I'll get us a
The
table.
biggest, like, here's
Like that's a lot of money. Like
Make sure you got a cameraman because it only counts if it's on film.
I'm just saying, like that's not a lot of money anymore.
let's just put it this way. There's been a weight lifted off my shoulders in the last week when I haven't been able to ever since we got the word and I talked to Coleman a week ago. I haven't had to look over my shoulder every waking moment because
Is he at your house right now?
No, he's not. But they know because then somebody's going to have to deal with the consequences. Very few people that I'm still terrified about.
What if your wife decided to like collect on that bounty on a Thursday because
it
technically
stays in
you're
the
on
house.
camera?
Yeah, but it stays in the house at that case. It's paying bills then. I mean, it is what it is at that point.
Or concert alcohol.
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, you know that.
Bro,
she does drink
dog.
at concerts.
She a champion, first of all.
Don't even say just at concerts, man.
I said don't even lie.
Oh,
She almost, man.
your wife will pop up in a chat and say, "Why you lying, bitch?"
I'm not lying. She went to that Lorna show, Gojira.
Gojira!
Oh, she got to go to the kaiju battle?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She went to the kaiju battle on Tuesday.
So another segue real quick while it's silent. Don't forget, next Thursday, we will be starting live at 8 p.m. because we are going to be live from a secret location. I know for a fact it'll be me and Ethan. Jeremiah is going to be there. You could cancel. Like card subject to change.
Yeah,
I'm not going to. I have that locked in. I almost brought Greg.
You almost brought until this whole incident.
Well, yeah, now he's kind of acting like bitchy, and I wasn't really a fan of him being like an asshole to me just because he got himself beat up.
Speaking of random events that are taking place in random places, allegedly at some point there's a smoke off taking place in my backyard, and more people have gotten invited to it.
Man, we got
those coming.
We're gonna address this on air. I wanna set the rules because Clinton wants to invite anybody and everybody with a set of lungs.
Yes.
I, on the other hand, only want to invite people with a set of lungs that can afford the 1 ounce buy-in.
Because come on down to Joyology and see me and get a $59 ounce.
And that's fine. If you can't afford $60, you shouldn't get to compete in the world's largest smoke-off.
I thought my backyard
for Michigan indie wrestlers.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. It's we're fighting for a championship, and also we could run out of weed.
Speaking of people fighting for a championship,
I mean, it's starting to sound like we need a belt for this shit.
Boys, Russ, how you doing down there?
What's going on, Reed? Speaking of somebody fighting for a championship, and then
I was just asking Russ how he was doing down there before you interrupted him answering my question. You're being a bad friend, Ethan. Russ, how are you doing today? Ethan, what was your thing?
I said, so speaking of somebody...
I don't like you on these Jeters. Don't buy this brand ever again.
Somebody that was fighting for a title and no longer has a title, no longer has a contract. Jey Uso's time with the
Goldberg?
WWE.
Oh, let's talk about Goldberg. Is Goldberg going to show up at All In? Is Goldberg going to be there?
There is no place on that card.
Goldberg spears Sting through a coffin.
But speaking of people who spearing might also be at All In, is Edge going to be there? His contract runs out tomorrow. Runs out tomorrow, as well as Jey Uso's contract has ran out last week. A lot of contracts ending. That is a real thing. His contract is really over. Of course, they're going to re-sign him, but hopefully they don't do what they did with CM Punk and bring him back in 2 weeks and keep him off TV for a while. Yeah.
Ooh. The answer is it doesn't matter if any of those people showed up, because within 2 weeks, the AEW creative would figure out a way to make them irrelevant.
False. If
Not
Edge
false.
if Edge were to show up, what show would Edge feature on? I mean, there's only really two to pick from. So
Yeah, I
I'm
know.
scared to answer wrong though.
I'm trying to think of what the third show would be called.
this
that
ain't hard,
comes
guys.
on like
This
Or
isn't
Collision?
hard.
You'd be on Collision
He'd
because
be on Collision. Why?
Christian's there.
Christian's there, and who else is there?
FTR,
FTR is there.
who are the uncles to his kids.
Yeah, so he wouldn't get lost. I mean, would he be lost on Saturday night? Sure, but he would feature. Like, he'd be there.
yeah, but
At
it wouldn't
least we
do
know-
anything. It wouldn't
I mean,
do
to find-
anything.
to find
long
anything.
run.
You'd probably eventually get a reunion of Edge and Christian going after the titles. And let's be honest, that's a much more compelling team and a better work rate team right now than whatever they have with the Hardys.
Edge and Christian versus FTR at All In.
I don't think
That would have been something. That would have been something.
So the problem for me is I don't think AEW can create moments that will that will last the test of time. It's just going to create something that's hype for a week until 3 weeks later they create a new hype that erases the hype I just watched, which then they will undo that hype 2 weeks later, and then it'll take them a month and a half to do something hype worthy, but then they'll do it, and then I would have forgot about the whole year so far up until this point. And nothing stands though.
What if the Bucks cronies interfere in the tag match? And just when it looks like they're about to go over, Adam Copeland arrives to the ring to back up his buddies FTR. Oh, what a beautiful moment, because you're not going to get Punk.
Because
They
then
need somebody to back them up.
and then out comes Jey Uso to help out the fucking FTR.
Jey Uso's contract did not run out. That is insane. Okay? Like, I can't with these people. I can't.
Bro,
I
if
cannot.
Jey Uso showed up, that might actually create a moment.
Jey Uso shows up in Impact Wrestling and super kicks Ace Austin.
You know what?
Not a
Jey
moment.
Uso doesn't have value outside of WWE.
I mean, it's a moment.
Hold
Like,
on,
I'd
so we
feel
have
really
a good.
cool for Ace.
Okay.
Oh
We got
wow, this
somebody
is a
on
question.
Facebook.
This is definitely a question for Russ. Do you think Punk has too much influence on the outcome of TV shows? And so what do they do to change that? I'll answer first because my answer is pretty simple. Fire Punk. Next.
Have you ever watched TNA when Hulk Hogan had creative control?
What? Clinton hates money. That's what I heard. I heard Clinton just said, "Listen, let's just burn piles of fucking money. Fire the fucking 3 idiots that in 4 years can't do what CM Punk did in a half of one. Fire those 3. And then get rid of their cowboy friend too, because what the fuck has he done? Jesus Christ. Burn money." Yeah, great answer. Sorry, I love you. That was...
You got so like for anyone who's new to the show, because I've seen a couple names pop up here. I like to get a rise out of people. It's fun.
You know what we can
I
all
don't think you
agree
should
on
fire
here?
CM Punk. I do believe Tony needs to put an HR team in place in AEW, since you know he has a roster of this many people working across 2 shows. Maybe don't let CM Punk have creative control. I don't know. Maybe don't let any wrestler have creative.
Here's a fucking idea. Here's the actual truth that a lot of these people are just too stupid to understand. Because I'm starting to figure out that a lot of wrestling fans are just fucking stupid. Okay, so let's just go here. Okay, there are 2 groups of people who don't like each other. Okay, there are people who got into a fracas behind the scenes that none of you are at. None of you. None of you. You don't know how it started. You don't know how it ended. You don't know what happened in the interim. You don't know who was in the room. Did somebody kick the dog? Did somebody hit Ace Steel's wife with her leg in a cast? You don't know. You don't know.
Somebody bite somebody?
And yet, were any of the so-called journalists who cover the sport there? No, they certainly were not. Were any of them in the room? No. Are they all going off of second and third hand knowledge? They sure are. Are some of them speaking on it as if they were there? Yes, they are, because that's what they do. And this is the thing about that makes it so hard to try to approach what journalism is in wrestling versus an actual sport, okay? Because in an actual sport, you eventually do get to the truth because there's only one truth. And yet with this, it's like, well, I don't know. Are they working the boys? Is it a shoot? Who fucking cares? Here's the thing. If you like the Elite and that's who got you to AEW, you're inherently going to believe that they can do no wrong, that Punk is a bully and everything's awful. And if you're somebody who followed CM Punk from his ROH days or wherever the fuck else he was at to WWE, and you've decided that, like, man, when he came back, that's why I'm here with AEW. I don't actually care about AEW. I just care about CM Punk. Guess what? You're going to think that he can't do anything wrong either. And here's the fact. The truth is somewhere in the middle, okay? And it's not complicated. Now, if CM Punk, which it seems has become the prevailing thing, is that he seems to be open to having a conversation. And the way that it is being framed is that the other guys aren't. Okay, if that's the truth, and Tony Khan just re-upped these guys to a new contract, and part of that wasn't figure it the fuck out like a bunch of adults. If that was not worked out, then it's on him. It's 100% on him. And there's no way to make this better. And by the way, like, all these people lost their shit about, oh, well, CM Punk's such a bully. He sent Namath home. Who the fuck cares? Nobody cares about Namath. They care if his brother showed up. They care if Dolph Ziggler was AEW. They don't fucking care about Namath. Who cares? Who cares? Oh, well, he sent Christopher Daniels home. Who the fuck cares? Again, Christopher Daniels, head of talent relations, closer to the Bucks. If CM Punk is supposed to live in a bubble and pick the roster for Collision, and the Bucks as EVPs are supposed to pick the roster and decide things on Dynamite, you can't bitch and complain when they're being held on the same level to have the same creative control or the same creative option. You don't get to do that. You don't get to play that game. You want to be a tribalist and, like, complain, oh, the WWE people don't like our show. They think we're secondary bosses. Shut the fuck up, okay? And, like, if this is your thing, it's like, I don't like tribalism because I think AEW should win. That's great. But then don't be tribalist about half of the fucking company that you support. It makes no sense. It's called cognitive dissonance. Some of you out there might not understand what that is. So go look it up. Go Google it, watch a few YouTube videos, and eventually figure it out. But here's the thing. These people are just unwilling or unable to do it. I don't know if it's because somebody didn't hold their hand as a child. Nature versus nurture. Maybe your parents let you cry it out in the crib, or maybe they let you co-sleep until you were 15. But either way, you need to get a little reality check. The company will only last and will only survive if both of those factions, if both sides of this actually do business the right way, and eventually they cross-pollinate. You cannot, under any circumstances, have the next 5 to 10 years of this company being, here's the Elite show, here's the Punk show. It doesn't work. Here's what I would love to see happen, and it'll never happen because there are some people in that company who will never allow it to happen. I would love a Freaky Friday situation. I would love Collision and Dynamite to switch, roster switch, change the presentation, let them switch for a month, let them switch for a week. We know that Punk's crew, everybody who's on Punk show is going to show up on a Wednesday night, and all the Elite people are going to show up on Saturday. It'll never happen. You know why? Because that show, that Dynamite show that goes to Saturday will tank, will fucking tank. And the Collision show moving to Wednesday would go over 1 million. It would put up a bigger rating, and more people would be invested in it. The only thing that they can do, because they don't have the cojones for it, is take Collision, move it to Tuesday, put it against NXT, which is now, popping a better number than Collision is because it's on a Tuesday night when nothing else is on versus a Saturday when some people actually like to go out and do things with their lives. So, this is the whole thing. This is the crux of the issue. They're not going to fix it. Nothing here tells us that they're going to fix it, because if people in that company wanted to do business, then we should have had a Punk versus Omega match at All In. We should have had FTR and Bucks like we're having at All In. The lack of that happening, the lack of willingness for that to happen, is an indictment on leadership or lack thereof in the company. And until that's rectified, this is going to be tribalist within a tribalist of this company versus that company. It doesn't work. It's so stupid. They are cannibalizing their own product because people's feelings are hurt. It is maddening. It is stupid. And the fact that so many of these fans are unwilling or unable to see that pitting one half of your company against the other does not help, and will not help the perception, and will not help it grow. Because no matter what, there are Elite fans who wish the Elite were on Collision, and there are Punk fans who wish Punk was on Dynamite. And until they rectify the situation, you have to live in separate little zones and the company cannot grow.
And you know the best
Somebody's
thing
got
about
to figure
wrestling?
it out.
Okay, Russ. Okay. What, Ethan?
The best thing about wrestling is I watch Tuesday nights and Friday nights. I watch NXT and I watch SmackDown because that's my alternatives to this. We started this thing as an AEW show, really, truthfully, like that's what it was. And
To be
now it's
honest
to the
with
point,
you, we started when Punk came back.
yeah, but now it's to the point where I'm watching stuff and I'm watching one of the best heel runs of all time in Dominic fucking Mysterio. And I love it. I cannot get enough of Dirty Dom.
Why do you think NXT's popping a fucking hard rating right now on Tuesdays?
I got to clarify something real quick.
Yeah.
That Russ, we have one piece of information that we can all agree on that happened in that backstage incident. Ace Steel bit Kenny Omega. Everybody's story clarifies that. Ace Steel, CM Punk side, the Buck side, Kenny Omega side, the bystanders. Everybody will agree that he bit. That's the only thing that it lines up in every story. Is that
Clint, pull the question back up because we didn't even answer the question. But I'll give a very. I mean, I kind of did, but I'll give a simple answer.
Elevator pitch answer.
What?
Elevator pitch answer on this.
Sure, whatever. He has too much control if the Bucks have too much control of Dynamite. If not, then no. The network wanted a show to be built around Punk. And if the network wanted that, then they wanted him to go about creating or helping to create a show that fits his view of what pro wrestling is supposed to be. And to that end, whether he has the EVP thing next to his name or not, he's doing what he's supposed to do, presumably. And the Bucks are doing what they're supposed to do with Dynamite, presumably. So no. Like, I don't know how you could say that he has too much input. By the way, that question is totally based on the perception that he has too much. Do we actually know what CM Punk has to do with Collision? Do we know if he's the one booking matches? Is he an agent on these matches? Like, do we actually know that? Of course we don't. So, yeah, it's people. The comparison to Hogan is silly, though. Like,
okay, I don't want to dive any more into this tonight. I'm over discussing AEW at this point. I've been trying to move off AEW for 30 minutes now. Done. All right. Ethan, you brought up the whole Jey Uso shit.
Yeah. So Jey Uso, I mean, listen, we moved into that category. They're going to do the right thing here. They're going to take Jey Uso off of TV for a while. Rumors are they were trying to stretch this shit out till Mania. It's not going to happen. It's not, hey, Raiders here. It's not going to happen. They're not going to stretch the shit out until Mania. I think we're looking more along a Survivor Series. I think that's a reasonable effect, or after that. I'm intrigued to see what happens with Survivor Series this year, the way everything's running. It looks like it's a Judgment Day, like collision course for something happening. I'm not really sure. I don't even see that a War Games is necessary this year. There's nothing building there for me. I like the Rumble. I like that answer the most for Uso for Jey to come back.
You have to clear up the Roman aspect of the bloodline by the Rumble this year. You cannot make the same mistakes you made last year where you had your fucking Rumble winner and he wasn't even the main focus in the feud. It was on someone else. If Roman is really going to hold that title until Mania, he's got a
hot take. Roman wins the Rumble
and fights himself.
No, I've heard a lot of shit tonight.
No, it's to that point where he's like, look, no one's going to take this title from me. I'm going to make sure this title never leaves me because everything has been sorry. We've been sowing seeds of doubt for 2 years now. Roman is not the most important part of this bloodline thing. It's boiled down to the fact that it's the three Uso brothers. It's Jay, it's Jimmy, it's Solo. That's where this sits. Roman is an accoutrement to this whole situation because he holds the titles and he's a safe bet to hold the titles because he sells a fuck ton of merch. But the guy doesn't have to wrestle, which is great. They've devised it to that point where everybody around him is telling the story, including Paul Heyman. And I think that's why it's made it work so well, is because they finally let Roman get out of his shell. They let him be his character, but they're also not asking too much of him in the ring because of everything that they did before. I'll give the guy props. He used to wrestle twice a week he would wrestle twice a week on TV, not to mention house shows, a week for 7 years? So fuck, let the guy have his due. I get why they're trying to break numbers and shit like that. The hot take on that is whatever. I truthfully, early Rumble predictions, Gunther wins, but that's where I'm at with that.
Nah, dog. Cody's winning the Rumble for 2 years in a row.
I just at this point, I'm more focused on the individual stuff that's going on. We have the last one. We're going to get a match. We're going to get Edge versus Sheamus, which is going to be a banger because those two guys work well. Those two guys are going to work well together. You just tell by the way that they run. You've got Dominic Mysterio just being the best heel that they have in the company, because take the bloodline out of this, that's a whole infighting thing. It doesn't really affect other stuff. I think there's good stuff on the other side of the television. And if you're looking for wrestling that's not filled with the drama or confusing stuff or chainsaw massacres or whatever it is, the stuff is out there. And if you want to watch a really good women's division, go turn on fucking Impact. It's good. And you know the best part about Impact is the guy sitting right here. He can book most of those people to come and see at the local shows because they're available.
No. Don't throw him under the bus like that.
I'm not throwing him under the bus. I'm saying he has the availability. I'm not saying he's going to do it, but he has the option. That stuff is there.
We have Jason Hodge.
It's crazy that the availability for great talent is there and can be seen, but yet we can also see them on TV every week. There's options to the crazy shit that goes on Dynamite and on Collision and stuff like that. And Collision is the superior show right now. It feels a lot like, I don't want to say early Monday Nitro, but like late 96 to early 98 Nitro. That's what I get out of Collision. But I'm also getting I'm getting early Ruthless Aggression era SmackDown 6 era stuff out of SmackDown right now. And I really enjoy both of those shows. So there's a lot of positive things to talk about in wrestling right now. And those are some things that I like to bring to light.
Yeah, no, me personally, the wrestling on TV really doesn't do it for me anymore. I was spoiled a year ago when I went to an FU show, and that changed mine and Ethan's whole dynamic to the point now where most of our weekends are like, we prioritize these local shows over sitting down and watching these wrestling events anymore.
Yeah, you know what? Let me dig out some things, because there is a local match this weekend that we would like to throw a shout out to. I'm going to pull the card. I'm going to load it up. Continue talking if you would.
Yeah, like there's so much good wrestling to be watching. I know we harped on a lot of shit tonight with one company, but there's problems with every company that you're going to see on TV. Genuinely, there's always something backstage going on. There's shit going on backstage in WWE right now about unhappiness, and it's just anywhere you read, if you just don't want to read that shit, you don't want to see it, just go to your fucking Facebook page and type in local wrestling, see what federations are around you.
Where's Lacey Evans going to get booked?
Jesus.
Clutch Your Nuts Wrestling.
OnlyFans.
That. Look, she's gonna.
Is Lacey Evans all in?
No.
She's only on fans.
Why? Like go the Mandy Rose route. No bumps, all the money.
I have to take exception to something Ethan said.
Okay.
The notion that the bloodline thing is now tied up in the Uso brothers, I think is like the fun thing to say, and it's the internet thing to say. But like, it's Roman. It has to be Roman. Not only is he the merch guy, but like Roman's the most compelling thing they have on TV. The Uso thing is always a fun, like the Usos are the accoutrement. They're there and they help to somewhat progress storyline. But like without Roman, the thing falls apart. If Roman tore his ACL, the entire thing falls apart. Okay. Jey Uso, if Jey Uso was really out of contract and showed up at All In, that would get a pop because it'd be like, oh my God, look, somebody jumped. But like that guy as a performer is not a main event guy who carries a company. He is a fun main event guy to be in WWE as part of the Bloodline storyline. But like, I don't see him as like a transcendent talent, nor is his brother. They're great together and they're great as part of the storyline. But like, again, if Roman just went away, they're not going to pop those ratings and they're not going to sell that merch. Solo is a really cool idea as somebody to like build around in the future. And like there's cool stuff they could do. They actually have more potential in Solo if they'd bring back the elders. Like if a Rikishi were to show up and mentor Solo on TV. This is, by the way, the thing that they fucked up with Tribal Combat. We should have seen a Rikishi or somebody from the elders. Like the whole concept of Solo being sent was sent by the elders. And yet there's been nothing to tie us together to, hey, Solo is supposed to speak for the elders or is supposed to kind of impose their will. He should not have been part of like the shenanigans in the Jey Uso Roman Reigns match. He should have been beside himself that they violated like the principle of what Tribal Combat's supposed to be. But there's a compelling story there.
See, we had the discussion of Roman possibly being injured, and it's one of those things where if he hasn't defended the belt, Roman could could stand on the side of the ring. You'd never know he's injured. He could stand there for a tag match, come in and get the win. So that's why I think at this point, Roman's not the main focus. I'm not saying over the entirety of the run, but I just think right now he's not the main focus.
The main focus is yes. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not supposed to respond to that, but yes.
Oh no, I was just saying, speaking of a focus that we had on our stuff that we were going back to, because I finally pulled the picture up on this. We do want to give a shout out here. I know it's harkening back a little bit. Our show friends, Ray Larson, Heather Blue, they're taking on the Saint Brothers for the tag titles MPW this weekend. Unfortunately, we're not going to be there. We're not going to be broadcasting this show. However, if you're in the area and you have an opportunity, go see two of the best women wrestlers in the state of Michigan this weekend and root them on for the opportunity to win those tag team championships.
You see them September 1st also at FU.
Yes, you can.
Now,
in the biggest women's match of the year.
Now, we got 18 minutes left in the show. We're signing off of Twitch with one of our final sporkles we're going to be doing on our channel on our shows.
On Twitch.
No, this is in general. Apparently, we have too much to talk to.
Again?
Not as much.
We're never going to do this again when we're not on Twitch.
This is something. This is development.
Wait, what?
I'm learning now.
Every WWE tag team champion in history. Single name, no tag teams, no Russ, no timeouts. We're moving on. We got to move on, man.
Anymore?
We got to move on. We got to move on. I tried to cut the AEW shit, but you guys wanted to keep going. There was more shit I had planned for tonight, but we're rushing this shit now. All right. 15 minutes on the clock. We're going to try to name 240 WWE tag team champions.
We're just running down the list real quick. We'll get to the comment section in a moment.
We're going down the line. Me, Ethan, Jeremiah, Russ. You guys ready?
Yeah.
Trevor Murdoch.
HBK.
Macho Man.
Really?
Yeah.
No.
No. Oh, well,
No.
fuck me. I don't care.
CM Punk?
Was he not?
Yes, he was. Macho Man was not.
Biggie.
Jeremiah.
Kofi.
I already said Kofi.
Jeremiah's a weak link in this.
Xavier. I'm high, man.
Lesnar.
I don't think so.
What's the title? Like, what's the thing? I can't see the
just
thing.
tag
World
team champions.
Oh, tag team champion.
Yes.
Oh.
Jeff Hardy.
Cena.
David Otunga.
Matt Hardy.
Edge.
Christian.
Brian Kendrick.
Devon Dudley.
How about Ray Dudley?
Paul London.
Fuck you, Ethan. I hope you get hit by a bus. X-Pac. One. Oh, there you go.
Russ, say a name and then I'm going to go to the comments.
What was the name of
That's a question.
I'm going to start reading comments for you.
I'm reading them. That's great.
the Miz? Does the Miz count? Miz?
Yes. Arn Anderson.
Look, it's not part of this, but thank you, Rob. We appreciate that.
Kelly
It was not
Blanchard, Mike Rotunda.
How about Bobby Eaton?
Bobby eating the pussy.
Give me 1 second. Bobby eating the pussy. Yep. No. Okay.
Dennis
God, Russ,
Condrey?
you're useless. You're like a weak link. in this group.
Booker
Dennis
T.
Condrey? No Dennis Condrey. Okay.
Scott Steiner.
Rene Dupree.
Rick Steiner.
He is the champion. There he is.
Spike Dudley.
Charlie Haas.
The Hurricane.
Shelton Benjamin.
Kane.
Raven. Oh.
Test.
Brian Danielson. Or Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, that guy never.
They're not
worked
the
out.
same person.
They're not.
Big Show.
A Train. Albert.
Nope.
Okay.
He
Tensai.
was though with Test.
Yeah. I don't know. Whatever. Fuck it. Keep going.
This is a rigged list.
Matt Bloom.
Oh.
Crash Holly.
God damn.
Hardcore Holly.
We already know we're gonna lose. It won't give us an answer.
With that attitude, we will.
Typhoon.
What has happened?
Earthquake.
Russ.
Is Al Snow? Did Al Snow ever win a tag title?
Yeah,
yes,
with-
he
yeah.
did. What's
Yeah,
up? What's
Head
up?
cheese.
Oh, that's right. Head cheese.
Mick Foley.
Steve Blackman.
And,
I
yeah.
thought they won
Harry
his head
Saturn.
cheese.
Oh.
Did they not win his head cheese?
Eddie Guerrero.
Yeah. Chris Jericho. Yeah, him and Chavo won the belts.
Big Show.
Already got him on there.
Did Chris Benoit ever win one?
Yes. Billy Gunn.
Yeah.
Ooh, Chuck Palumbo.
Ah.
Billy and Chuck.
Yep.
Did Rico ever win it?
Yes, with
Good
Umaga,
job.
right?
Yeah.
Lash
No.
LaRue.
Oh,
Just
no,
kidding.
no, with Rosie
Rosie.
Disco Inferno.
and Jamal. No, Jamal never won.
3 minutes.
Ooh, Scotty Too Hottie.
Wait a minute.
No, now we're just yelling.
Grandmaster Sexay.
We're trying to win now.
It's Sexay.
Sexay. Thank you.
I'll be right back. I have to let my dogs in.
I hate that.
Ross, you got a name?
Johnny Nitro.
Did we do? Was Taker ever a tag champ with
Yeah.
Kane or no? Right?
Yes, but then that means DDP and Chris Canyon.
Stone Cold was Austin. Just
Yeah.
Steve Austin.
Yeah. Superman Power
As-
Trip.
Yeah.
Triple H.
Batista.
Throw Kurt Angle on there.
Batista.
Yes, Batista.
Randy Orton.
ABL.
Farouk.
Was Ted DiBiase Jr.?
And
Yes.
Legacy.
Yeah, Legacy did. Cody Rhodes.
With an E. With an E. Right?
It's DBIASE. DE or DIB.
Just do Ted. See if Ted does. it.
DIB.
IASE.
IASE. I'll make sure that got Ted DiBiase Jr. and not just Ted DiBiase.
It did. It's on the right.
Okay, got both of them.
John Bradshaw Layfield.
I got him.
Ron Simmons.
I already said Farouk.
Yep.
Yeah, but he didn't spell it right before, so
Oh.
it's
I didn't.
just you know.
Ooh,
Joey Mercury.
God damn it. Fuck no, did they? Diesel.
Razor.
No.
Warrior.
Bret Hart. Owen Hart.
Jim the
Jim
Anvil
Neidhart?
Neidhart.
All Neidhart for
Fuck,
me.
man.
NEIDHART.
Thank you. Davey Boy Smith.
Marty Jannetty.
He didn't kill that guy, or did he? Who knows? Who's to say?
Jannetty, because I know you know how.
ETTY.
This is the problem with Clint being the one on the keyboard.
It's okay.
Yeah,
Well,
you
Clint,
guys
can I-
host the show then.
Clint, can I spell one for you?
Spell one. I already got
J-
Booker on there. He's literally right there.
JAFFJARRETT.
All right, got that one.
Clint's
Fuck,
getting angry.
Chic. It might be under Iron Sheik.
No,
Headbanger Mosh.
There you go.
thank you.
Um,
Fuck, what was his name? Viscera? What was
Mabel.
Mabel. And
how about
then his-
Minion? Minion?
Midian.
Midian. That's right. Midian. Good call. Good
That
call.
was his,
Good
that
call
was
out.
his other name. Same guy.
Oh yeah.
Hmm.
Okay.
Mhm.
IRS was with Ted DiBiase.
Paul Burchill? CHILL.
What were the names of FTR before they were FTR?
Yeah.
That's what I was trying to
that
think
was
of.
The revival.
Scott Dawson,
Scott
Dawson and
Dawson and
Dash Wilder.
Dash
Yeah.
Wilder. Yeah, there you go.
Okay, Chad Gable.
The Usos. We didn't put the Usos on here.
Jimmy and Jay.
There you go. You got him.
Okay.
Okay. See here.
Sheamus.
Cesaro.
Oh, god damn it.
Luke Gallows.
Fucking the B team.
Yeah. Curtis
Bo
Axel.
Dallas.
What's
Yeah.
the other guy's name? Anderson.
The Bullet Club.
Yeah. Who was the other name? You said we got Curtis Axel. Who was the other name? Bo Dallas.
Bo Dallas.
Bo Dallas.
And what was the other name for?
Anderson.
Carl Anderson and
Carl Anderson.
Yeah,
We
he's
got the
already
other one.
okay.
Gallows. We got Gallows.
The Wyatt
Eric
family?
Rowan. We're
Sorry.
we're Rowan and
Harper.
Luke Harper.
Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton also held them.
Yeah, we have Orton. There you go, Bray Wyatt.
Yep. Heath Slater and Rhino.
Yeah, they were the first
Of
the reboot.
Who else
The
held
problem-
it for the
if we had
Nexus?
done,
Was
if
it
we'd
Wade
done all the
Barrett?
tag teams in WCW, we would
No,
have
it was
done
the
7 minutes
next.
ago.
Fuck.
Skip
I thought the
Sheffield?
Nexus run was Cena and Ortunga. And then
Fuck. Kenny, Mikey, Nikki. That would be Dolph
Well,
Ziggler. What were the other two names of the Spirit Squad? Kenny, Nikki, Mikey,
Alvin.
it was not
Simon, Theodore.
Alvin, Simon, Theodore. Oh, hey, Pete Gas. Oh, did Shane O'Mac hold it?
No, they never had the tag.
Yes, he did. He held it with the Miz.
Did Vince? Did
The
Vince
Miz.
ever hold it?
We already have the Miz.
We got the Miz on here already.
Okay. Vader?
Stone Cold.
I don't know.
We have Steve.
What?
Never mind.
Hogan?
What?
Yeah.
Oh, Deuce and Domino.
Oh, guys, Road Dog.
And
We have Billy Gunn on there. We have Billy Gunn on there, but Road Dogg.
DEU, by the way, Clint.
Too many names being shouted out. What was
DEU?
How about was D'Lo Brown? Picking a picture, sorry, I saw off the
He was
street.
the Godfather.
got 110 names?
Did you get Bull Buchanan?
Ooh.
Trevor Murdoch's buddy, Lance Cade.
Yep.
Rupert Murdoch.
Festus.
The Highlanders? No.
Festus and Jesse.
Festus is Carl Anderson. They never held the tag titles.
Did the Bushwhackers ever held the title?
They never got him? That
No.
makes me sad. And Festus
Midnight
is,
did
Luke
Midnight
Gallows.
Express never win it? No.
They weren't there for that. I'm trying to think of those goofball ones that happened in the mid 90s because you had all those weird ass tag teams.
I got The Rock.
Oh, what about Funaki and Taka? Michinoku. No?
Did Tajiri
No.
ever win one?
Yes,
Yes.
Jerry and William Regal held it.
Taz. Didn't Taz? Not Traz. There you go.
Ric Flair. Please don't.
Did Jack Swagger?
Nope, I don't think he ever did because him and Cesaro never.
Did
Rey
Jericho
Mysterio
on
and
here? Did
Batista.
Jericho ever?
Yeah,
Yes,
we got
we got-
Jericho.
Okay.
Batista.
Already got him.
We already got him.
We used Kevin Nash, right?
Quit
Yes.
yelling, Clint.
Pay attention.
Well, the
Bro,
screen
I
only
can't.
shows.
You
The
don't-
screen only shows so
Yeah,
much.
dog. Like we don't get the whole
We don't
screen,
have all
my
that
guy.
home slice. Sad.
Instead of yelling, think.
I am thinking.
What are you thinking about?
Did Ahmed Johnson ever hold the tag belt?
Didn't no.
Just type Johnson, by the way.
Rocky
There you
Johnson. Okay. Johnny Stramboli.
Jeremiah, you know why the submarine sank, right?
Why?
Because they were calling for Mayday, and they said, "Mayday, we're sinking, we're sinking." And the German Coast Guard said, "What are you thinking about?"
Uh,
Oh God, what is his name?
oh, Tyson Kidd and Cesaro.
Already got
Yeah,
And
Yeah,
Cesaro.
Same-
Cesaro.
Oh,
Oh,
Billy Kidman didn't ever win one, did he?
Yep.
Did
Jamie
he?
Noble?
Oh,
Rey Mysterio.
Eminem,
Did Maven?
Johnny Nitro,
Already got
Joey
both of them.
Mercury.
Already got those guys.
Maven?
No Maven. I would know that one.
Did any women win it?
Ooh, that's a good question.
I don't think so.
No,
No.
Trish Stratus didn't. Lita didn't. No woman's won it.
Are we
Maybe
sure
this is
Lita didn't win it with
stupid.
one of the?
Yes.
Okay,
I would have guessed the Beth Phoenix with the Santino.
we did Edge and Christian, right? Like as
Yeah,
one of the
we
first things, and then we did the Dudleys. We did.
We did all the TLC teams. Stevie wouldn't have been in there. He
No,
never
not in
came back and did that
WWE.
with Booker. That's
There's
good
gonna be a
guess.
lot of names on here that we're upset about.
Aaron
Also-
Stevens, the Damian Mizdow
No. Oh yeah.
or Damian Sandow, I guess.
Yep. Cody Rhodes.
Stardust. Oh, no, they didn't win.
Did Goldust? Was Goldust ever a tag champ? Sure,
Yeah,
probably
him,
was.
it was him and Booker T, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah, and him and Cody Rhodes.
This is about to be really sad when we see this.
here we go.
Adrian Adonis.
AJ Styles.
Styles, yeah.
Andre, the
Dog.
Street
Oh.
Profits. We missed the Street Profits.
Bart
Jeez
Gunn.
Louise. Bob Backlund, Bobby
Oh,
Roode,
how did we forget about
we
Braun
missed
Strowman
Braun.
and Nicholas?
Yep.
Oh
Buddy
shit, Nicholas
Murphy.
is on here. God damn it.
Carlito, Cedric. Jeez, Louise.
Heidenreich, all that stuff, man.
Man.
Kurt Hawkins,
Hawkins.
Crush, the Basham brothers.
Dean Ambrose. I actually
Dominic
forgot about saying Dean Ambrose.
Mysterio. We forgot Dom Dom.
Your favorite
because it's-
heel.
Dom Dom.
Mr. Fuji.
So here's the problem. Sometimes you have to look at these lists, and I didn't do this, and this
Eugene.
is my bad.
Eugene.
I didn't look to see when this was created because sometimes these are older and they're not updated.
Yeah.
2021.
Big
was
boss
when
man.
We forgot
Kevin
Dom
Owens. We
Dom.
missed Kevin Owens.
and Sami Zayn.
Oh boy.
Oh, 2023. This is the most updated one.
Oh boy.
So
This
there
can't
goes
be the
that.
last Sporkle ever. We can't go out like
Yeah,
this.
I want one
We
more.
can't go out like this.
Well, that's it for this show for sure.
We have to do the run over. I thought we have the permission of UPN to go beyond 9 o'clock or to go beyond
Not-
10
not
o'clock.
when one
if
of
we
us
needed
is,
to.
not when I've got to be up at 6:30 in the morning.
It's just part of being an adult.
Yeah, and the adult part is going to sleep. So with that being
That's
said,
not for adults. Sleep is not for adults.
my name is Clinton Davis. You can find me at PK Batman on Twitter. To my right,
Is Ethan. You can find me at Jensen Collins 3.
and below me, but never beneath me.
Did you just say blow me? Below.
Below
Hello.
me.
Hello. Rush Joy.
Below me.
It's just wrestling. New show tomorrow. I think tomorrow. I think. I'll yell about AEW for like 3 hours just to piss Clinton off.
And next to him is our, of course, our boss, the 24-karat lion, Jeremiah Goldmain.
It just snapped.
And as always, and for the last time ever, Twitch.
We love you, Judy.
Thank you, Twitch. We appreciate you. We're out.